Hello, who is not sleeping yet? I'm a little early on with my life tonight. Join and share this video because this is going to be a lesson for us, and yes, a lesson for those of us in the diaspora. When I saw this news, it was really shocking to me. I was like, no, this can't be. This can be. We never can. They say never say never. Please share and like as you're joining. As you're saying this, please share and like. This is very disheartening. It's heartbroken for us to. I first of all saw this on Easter blog. I saw this on Easter blog. Let me join, please join. If you know you are not sleeping, join me, please. This is a lesson for us, story to tell our children and our friends, to pass it on so the young people in the diaspora don't continue to make certain mistakes, thinking that they are in Africa, and also thinking that their parents will be able to save them. Yeah, you heard me right. Let them know that they are in America or in Europe, in Asia, so that they will know that their parents will not be able to save them. Their parents will not be able to beg for them. This should be a lesson that we take home to tell our children, our friends, and so on and so forth. This story happened in New York, in the state of New York in the US. And these two are Ghanaians, they are Africans. Actually, they are not married. After I researched both of them to know the story, I actually got the story because I wanted to get the story from the source, not just going on blogs, because sometimes when you go on blogs, these people just make up stories. So when they say it happened in the US, I was like, okay, if it happened in the US, then that means it's going to be in the news in the US. So I took my time to research this story very well. And actually it did happen. It happened in Long Island in New York. And the story is this young lady called Valerie Wosus and Emmanuel Ade. Both of them were charged with the murder of their 5-year-old son. As you can see the caption. So these two, the RIP of the young man, the young son, his name is King. They said he was found unresponsive in their residence, in their mother's residence, in Long Island last year. They just charged them now. They haven't actually convicted them yet. They just charged them for 2nd degree in New York. So it actually happened in 2022. This story happened in 2022. The boy's mother and her boyfriend. The boy's mother, her name is Valerie, and the boyfriend, and they just call him the boyfriend. I'm not too sure now if the alleged boyfriend is the father of the son. According to CBS report, this thing actually was reported on last week Friday. They said the unthinkable happened inside their apartment on Leroy Avenue in Brentwood in Long Island. Actually, they are saying that the poor kid, after they have done so much medical testing on the kid, they found out that the poor kid suffered. According to the reports that the police, the police are putting out there, and what is in the news, they said the boy suffered. They said it was a terrible, terrible case, and it was a shocking case of abuse, as reported by the police department. The 5-year-old boy, they said the boy R.I.P. April 1st, 2021. Oh, not 2022, 2021. According to the medical reports. The medical examiner, they said they found a blunt force trauma throughout his body. So apparently these people, allegedly, they were, they were beating this, they continued to beat this child, or maybe falling, or maybe it's possible the child was falling. I don't know what the apartment looked like, or how the apartment looked, because for them to find this kind of blunt force trauma throughout the boy's body, so it could be either from two things. That's me talking now. It could either be from beating, according to what they're reporting. People say that they beat the pikin, or it could be that the child just kept falling, or they couldn't control the child. Either one is possible. But 1 year later, his mother, Valerie, that is the boy's mother, and the boyfriend, Emmanuel, were arrested and charged with second-degree murder. They are held without bail. The reason why it took them so long to investigate this case, you guys will see that they said they had to make sure of certain things. Apparently, these two couples, they kept moving around from one place to the other. They were not stable. So they said that according to the report, according to what they reported, they said they held they said, according to the police, they said, we hold people that commit evil acts and bring them to justice. That is the police commissioner Rodney Harrison said. He said look, which is true. That's what they do in the Western world. In America, if you do anything that is against the law, they will hold you and you go in for it. That's what the police is reporting, that they hold people that commit evil acts. If you commit any evil acts, they will hold you and bring you to justice, which is what they do, really. So, but they're saying that this Valerie and her boyfriend, they also have another child. But that child, according to reports, that child is unharmed. They didn't find any kind of issue with the child. That is why I'm thinking now, I'm thinking in my brain, in my head, that maybe that child, falls a lot. But with the kind of trauma they said they found all over the child's body. So I don't know. I'm not speaking to defend them. I'm not their lawyer. So I'm just thinking aloud. I'm just probably. So the younger sibling who is unharmed, they said that child is fine. Nothing is wrong with the child. And CPS took over that child, which, in cases like this, that's exactly what is going to happen. When you have cases of abuse or abuse of any child or elderly, the CPS or the Child Protective Services would normally come in and they would take over, take the child and put them in a foster care, or if they have any relative that they feel that the environment is safe for the child, they would take that child and put the child in a safe environment. That's the reason, one of the major reasons I really like I like what they do. The suspects, though, they were arrested. Please join and share. This is a learning thing. We're analyzing this thing together. If you want to join me, please, you can let me know. The suspects were arrested and they were taken to the family court for hearing. The couple has been on the move. They said they've been moving from one place to the other. They visited the Republic of Ghana and they moved to Orange, New Jersey from Queens. They moved from Queens to New Jersey. So right now, they are not even in New York. They have moved to New Jersey. So they have moved like 3 times since this issue happened. The abuse was discovered at the Brentwood apartment of Valerie's parents, where the 911 call was made. So this 911 call was made not even in the couple's apartment, but in her parents' apartment. They said an ambulance was called at the time, and the boy was brought from the Brentwood to South Shore University Hospital. The boy was eventually taken to the hospital anyway, and they said they found a lot of injuries, internal injuries, where they said they were so grave that the doctors were unable to save the child's life. Because after they found the child unresponsive, the mother of that's Valerie's mother, the grandmother of the son, was the one that came. And just another report that I read, they said these two allegedly left the boy, his name is King, according to reports, that they allegedly left the kid in their mother's apartment unresponsive. So when the mom came, she was the one that called 911. And when the 911 came, they took the kid to the hospital. And because of the injury that child had, they were unable to save that little boy's life. Oh my goodness. They said it was beaten and it's heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking, said Maria, one of the residents that saw the child last year. And 2 years ago, it was COVID time. So they said ambulance, they kept seeing ambulance going back and forth because they had to call the police and the ambulance had to come in. When you are in an environment like that, once the ambulance is called and in case of abuse, situations like that, they will also call the police. So they said a lot of cops were in that area and, they had to take these two into custody. And people in that area are saying that they have a lot of children that play. And these two, they said they look very nice. They said they are very nice people. But people were like concerned that why would it take the authority, why did they delay in arresting these two, especially when it had to do with children? Because they don't joke with children. When it comes to children, they don't play around for you to say you want to do any harm to any child. No, they don't play. So the residents were kind of upset, a little bit upset that why did they take them so long to kind of arrest or charge these two? That they should have charged them long time ago when the incident just happened. Because it's not looking as if it took more than 1 year before these two were charged with the second-degree murder. So, like right now, these two are in custody, and according to report, they said Valerie works in a consignment shop while the guy is a driver for hire. Maybe he's into Uber, according to reports. Probably he's into Uber. So both of them pleaded not guilty. Of course, they pleaded not guilty, and because they have no prior arrest record, they have no records. So and they both also have different lawyers. So what I'm seeing in this case right now is like, this is not looking good at all. I understand that it's second-degree murder, but it's not looking good at all. Why, in my own analysis that I'm going to say in this situation, why would you, if a child have a situation like that you feel that the child is not, before the child even gets to being unresponsive, at least take the child to the hospital. Even if you panic, call 911. Call 911. But the fact that they left the child in their mother's apartment and they were not there, according to report, allegedly, they left. I mean, that raised a lot of suspicions. A lot of people will be like, what is going on? Why would you leave a 5-year-old with this kind of a trauma in its body by himself, and the child is unresponsive, and you just leave until their mother came and called 911? So nobody really knows what is playing in these two young people's mind. If they actually did what this report is saying that they did, or if maybe they will be giving their own their lawyers might be putting out a statement later. We don't know that yet, but this is what is out there. So, I mean, if these things are happening in the diaspora now, I think that the young people, according to the report, they are not married. The boyfriend that's Valerie is the mother, but we don't really know if the guy Emmanuel is the dad, is the father to the child. But in situations like this, young people, please, when you are in situations like this, get somebody or call 911, especially when it has to do with a child or do with anybody health-wise. Call 911. This is not Africa that you can just run with your sick child to your mother's house or run with your sick child to your grandmother's house, say, oh, come and help me to take care of the child. No. They have better medical services, you know, hospitals, good doctors that will take care of such situations. You cannot just assume or panic. I know some people panic, that they are confused, they don't know what to do. You know, but this is life. This is a child we're talking about, a 5-year-old child that might not be able to tell you what is really or actually going on with, you know, with him. So the more reason why you should take take a child like that to the nearest hospital, so that professionals will be able to determine what is going on with that child, and, you know, and they will be able to immediately take proper care of the child, because the doctors, according to the report, they are saying that it was too late. When they brought the child, the trauma that they found, the injuries, internal injuries they found in the child's body, it's like it's too late. There's something that they say, I mean, you can prevent something when it's early, when it's caught early, than when they always say it's late. When it's late, doctors are not God. Doctors are not God. That's why they always use that term, it's too late. And just assume probably they had taken that child to the hospital immediately, or when the child went unresponsive, instead of leaving the child in their mother's apartment, if they had called 911 at the time, maybe, just maybe, this boy would have been alive, would have been here with us now. And maybe they would have found themselves also in this situation or position that they are. And especially if they just came from Africa and they don't understand how this system works. So, my people, if you know you have young people, please, this is a teaching. It should be a teaching. I always say that everything that happens, no matter how terrible, how bad it is, you know, it is always a learning process for others. You know, experiences, we don't pray for bad things to happen to people, but people's experiences, other people's experiences are our teachers. You know, the experience that other people have, and they tell you their story, then you learn from it. Look at these young people. They are young people. They look very young to me. You know, I think it could be that they panicked. It's very possible that they panicked, especially for the fact that they are saying that it was during COVID and they left the child in the apartment by himself. It could be that they panicked. Because when people panic, they don't think rational. You know, they behave. Their behavior is totally different. They really cannot think constructively when people panic. And it could be that that's exactly what happened. It could be that, according to the reports, that because it was during COVID, they probably assumed that the kid had COVID. And in New York at the time, it was 2021 was way better though. If you actually look at it, yeah, 2021 was okay. It was in 2020 that the COVID in New York was bad. That we had a lot of people RIP'd in New York. But 2021, we had moved past the COVID era. Yeah, we've moved past the COVID time. So regardless of what it was at the time, call 911. Take that child to the hospital. Take that baby, that human being, that child, that person, that elderly. Call 911 and take them to the hospital. It is better for the professionals to check on them and say that there's nothing wrong with them. They are free to go home. You cannot just assume or just leave a 5-year-old and just walk away. There was another story I made here some time ago, last week or 2 weeks now, how one of these same young people left 18 months old baby and went on a 10 days vacation to Mexico. 18 months old. Well, at this time now, they found her guilty. She's cooling off somewhere in Kirikiri, in the prison. She's cooling off right there, right now. Because I cannot fathom how you think that a 18 months old child will be able to care for themselves. I'm not saying 18 years old or 8 years old. 18 months old baby. You know, me, I actually saw that as mental health anyway. Because I can't foresee how a mother will even leave 18 months old baby in the house and go to the grocery store, not going internationally to say they are going on a vacation outside of the country. So when you look at this set of people that are doing these things, they are young people. They're young people. They need counseling. They need mentorship. You know, parents, especially when they have children, they need mentorship or parenting advice, parenting guidance on how to take care of their children. You know, how to get help if they need help. Instead of putting these young children, they are babies, putting their life at risk. And it pains me now that these things, you know, I'm not saying that it should happen to other people. I mean, it's very frequent now in the African community. Whether it's Ghanaians or Nigerians or other nations or African nations. It's so frequent now. It's happening. So I beg, you know, when you see these young people, you need to ask them. They might not be in that mental health. They might not be very stable to understand. Especially as this country where we say, you work and pay bills, you work, and children, you got to pay bills and all that. Maybe I just don't know what happened. This to look very intelligent to me that they would do that to a 5-year-old child. No matter what happened, instead of taking that child to your mother's apartment, you would have taken that child to the hospital. But now they will not be charging you for murder. They might just say abuse case, they will take the children away from you. But you'll be free to fight, to get your children back. You'll be out in the community instead of being locked up. This is so heartbreaking and it's so sad. When I saw this story, I just told myself, I saw this story this morning. I know it's about 9 p.m. now, you know, and I've been contemplating on, do I make this story? Do I talk on this story so that people can learn? Sometimes these things, we put it out there so that people learn. It's already on social media. But the narrative on social media is different from the one, I'm analyzing it. It's just a US-based Ghanaian couple convicted of beating 5-year-old son to RIP, you know, and so on and so forth. They are not like talking on what might have caused it, what led to it, what they could have done better to prevent situations like this. You know, where to get help, how to get help. Those are the things that we need to teach these young people. We need to let them, inform them. These are African children. This is happening to. We cannot continue to see these things happening continuously and we just turn our back and say, you know, these people, you you see any young people, you need to talk to them. By just talking to them, you don't just walk up to them and say, oh, do you have any issues? No. Just talk to them. Maybe by just communicating with them, inviting them to church, if you are the kind, you know, if you have home church, inviting them to your church or your mosque where you worship, and they might just open up to you. Maybe that child now needs some kind of medical attention, and you know, you allegedly, you never can tell. Maybe the child needs medical attention, and you never can tell. Maybe the child needs medical attention. We say the child is disturbed there, and the parents, they beat the pikin, and because that's what authority are saying. I'm not the one saying that. Allegedly, that's what the authority said. The police department. You know, maybe that pikin, maybe probably it's autistic or something, where they need to take the child for medical checkup. Because me, I cannot see, I can't fathom a reason why a parent go beat up a child that hard that the child will have trauma all over his body. So there must be an underlying cause. That is what I'm trying to say. For these two to behave the way they behaved. Maybe when they get them to talk in the courthouse, maybe their lawyer will be able, but right now they are saying they are not guilty because they pleaded not guilty. So if their lawyer is able to get them to say, to talk, tell the court, the judge, the jury, or whoever, what actually happened, what was going on with the child, why they were beating up the child the way they did, for that child, that little boy, to have trauma all over his body, you know. So we have to look at the underlying cause that made these things to happen. This is really heartbreaking. Oh, it's so sad that a 5-year-old boy would just lose his life because of carelessness. I call this carelessness. And they say those kind of trauma internally, for the doctors to detect all that. That's why I said it's not Africa. This is America. This is not Africa. This is not Ghana. This is not Nigeria. Whatever you do, you go to they will find it out. They will do all kinds of tests. And those tests will tell them exactly what happened to that child. In Africa, it's either you're paying, they won't even suggest you, they won't even, let me not even go to yourself. So everyone, I beg, if you not get nieces, nephews that are married, please tell them continuously. Put it in their ears. Especially the ones who just come, where they're not born here. They don't understand the system, how the system works. We need to tell them. We need to teach them. I understand sometimes when they come like that, they feel say they know everything. But you still need to tell them. Because in me, I still believe that if they had taken that child to the hospital on time, probably they themselves, they will not be in, number one, they too, Emmanuel and Valerie, they will not be in the situations that they are now, right now. They'll be free walking around. The child will be free. Probably the child will be in a foster home, foster care. If they don't have any good family member that will take the child and take care of the child. We cannot continue to take matters into our hands. You can't break the law. You can't neglect a child. You cannot abuse or beat up a child. You cannot do that. And people, please share this video. When I saw this, I actually took my time, like I said in the beginning. I took my time to research it, so it won't look like one of those fake news that people just carry and post on the media and on social media. People would just say, oh, because they want to have something to post. No, I just took my time to research. I read it on various blogs. I read it on various news here in America. I read it on CBS. I was like, okay, this is not fake. This is real. Please, now, people, share this video. This should be a learning process for us. Share so that it will go around the globe. Especially those. I'm going to make another video about same incident, similar incident. But thank God nobody RIP in that. Similar incident that happened in London. Because, you know, when these people want to jackpot, they don't understand that when you are jackpotting, you have to learn and unlearn certain behaviors. You learn and you unlearn your bad behaviors. Because those bad behaviors you are bringing from Africa to this Western world is not acceptable. I'm going to make that video, the one that happened in London. You know, all these things that we are talking in Nigeria now, these people, they chill, side end, side chick. Now they lead them, they go jail now for London. All those also the jackpot. Especially when they think, say, when they go there, they chase anything that is on skirts. Small girls, they think say in Nigeria where you go date 15-year-old, 16-year-old that is underage. You don't say 2 or 3 of them now, they go, God knows, they will give them life imprisonment over there now. I'm going to make the video. So these are the things that, you know, I understand. Sometimes these young people, when you talk to them, they know they won't listen. They know they won't learn. You go to, it's just like when you get to a class. In that class, you have to learn, know what your professor likes and what your professor doesn't like. Your professor for psychology is going to be different from the professor you have with your microbiology. And the things that microbiology professor is going to take are different from the things that your psychology professor will take. So that is how it should be when welcome. That is how it should be when you jackpot from Nigeria. You say you are going to the UK or you are going to Canada or you are going to America or Europe or any of the countries you are going to, or going to Asian countries. I don't want to mess up this video because it's really heartbroken. These people, they think that they want to make a better life for themselves. Then they jackpot to these countries and they get themselves in big trouble. The things that normally they would do in Africa and they would just walk away, they will come to this Western world and do the same thing, thinking it's the same, because they are refusing to learn and to unlearn their bad behavior, their bad character, and learn the new. You're coming into a new environment. You should study the laws, know what is acceptable and what is unacceptable in that land. But a lot of our people, they will not learn and unlearn their bad behaviors. Let me tell you, every one of us, every individual on planet Earth, it's not just Africans, it's not just every nation, every nationality, every person. You do have, you have good side and you have bad side. You have to learn and unlearn some certain characters that you have. It's human. We are human. Even in the Bible, did you guys not read it? How the children of Israel, how they disobeyed God. In fact, apart from that, before then, how they were trying to build Tower of Babel to get to heaven because they feared that they were going to march up to heaven. So we have it in us as human beings. We have it inbuilt in every one of us. So when you come to a new environment, it is good for you to learn the things, the laws, the rules and regulations of that environment, so you don't get yourself in trouble. Please share this video. This is really heartbreaking. I just felt that I should share this with us tonight. You know, I saw this morning, and it was just breaking news, you know, most of the blogs. So I said, okay, let me just, you know, make this as a teaching for us to learn, for us to learn from. Please share this video. Thank you, baby, my sister, for joining me. God bless you. You always watch my videos. Thank you. And you can leave your opinion. I mean, we are all learning from these things that are happening. Please leave your constructive opinion. If you want to add to what I said, you can always type it in there and add to it. You're always welcome to leave your opinions and whatever you think. Thank you, my people. God bless you all. Have a wonderful night. Good night.